And we're live. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I am your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, Senior Sales and Marketing Manager with Grant Cardone. Thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. What happens on the Cardone Solutions Podcast? Well, what I like to do is I like to go out into cyberspace, into the internet, and I like to grab Grant's free content that he puts out on the internet. 85% of what we do at Cardone Training Technologies, 100% free. So I like to take some of that content. Maybe it's a blog post, maybe it's an article he's written, something he's tweeted out, putting on the grams, an email that went out to our subscribers. Today we're going to look at a YouTube video, but I just want to take that content and dissect it, break it down, give you some action ideas and some things that you can do with that content to immediately get results in your sales, in your business, and your life. And if it's your first time on the Cardone Solutions Podcast, let me just start off by saying thank you for being here and welcome. If you've been following me for a little bit, or if it is your first time, do me a favor, follow this sucker. If you've got some value in it, or if you're getting value from it, I should say, then make sure that you follow along so you don't miss anything. I try and put 3, sometimes 4 of these out every single week. My job is to deliver value to you, and if you're getting value from it, make sure you've subscribed so that you don't miss an episode. And if you are getting value from it, do me another favor, share it. Share it with somebody else. If it's helping you, then I promise you it's going to help somebody else. So make sure that they're getting it too. Put this out there in cyberspace for me, whether that's tweet it out, throw it up on LinkedIn, drop it up on the Facebook, however, whatever your favorite social media network is, share it out there so other people can get something from it too. And then last but not least, throw me a review. Good, bad, indifferent. If you love it, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. If you're in the middle on it, let me know. I want this, all right, let's be honest. I'm doing this not more for me. I'm doing this for me. I get a lot out of doing this. I'm having a blast, and I'm probably not going to stop. So, but I want to make sure that you're getting something out of it too, because I'm doing it for me, but I'm also doing it for you. So leave me a review of what you're getting out of it. If there's something you would like to hear, if there's something you'd like me to do, if there's something I'm not doing that I should be doing, let me know. I'm an open book and I'm an open mind. So I want your feedback from it. Leave me a review. Thanks in advance for that. Now let's talk about some sponsors real quick and then we'll get into today's topic. The Cardone Solutions Podcast is brought to you by Cardone University. This is the #1 sales training platform on planet Earth. 15 to 30% new business in the first 90 days is typically what our clients are seeing on this program. Now, is that something that you can do? Is that something that's possible for you? Absolutely, it's possible for you, okay? So here's what I'd like you to think about for a second. If you're in sales, if you're in business, if you have a sales team, if you're a team of one, what is one thing? Like, what do you think is going to be the hardest part for salespeople moving forward? Like, if you're a sales manager, think about your salespeople for a second. What do you think is going to be the hardest thing for your salespeople moving forward? And if you're in sales, what's going to be the hardest thing for you moving forward? Okay? Could be a couple things. Could be thinking less like an employee and more like an entrepreneur. It could be prospecting, generating your own traffic, not relying on the company to pay for advertising to get you in front of people. It could be following up with existing previous customers. Could be just keeping your head on right. Could be just handling the uncertainty that's in the market right now because there's a ton of it. Right? There's yours that you need to handle, and then your customers. Right? Your biggest competitor right now is not the company down the street. It's uncertainty. Okay, and there's a lot of it in the marketplace. And you need to know how to handle that for you and your buyer. The solution to all of those is going to be found inside Cardone University. Over 800 segments of business courses specifically designed for you to thrive in this current marketplace. Everything that you're going to need to run a business and your household. Okay, the word economy comes from the Greek word oikos. Okay, so it's you taking care of you and your house. Got it? So, is this right for you? We don't know. You know, or you will know, and that is why we are offering 14 days free access to Cardone University so you can figure out if it is or is not right for you. So all you need to do to take advantage of that is head on over to cardonesolutions.com/CardoneU free. That's Cardone, the letter U, the word free. You go to cardonesolutions.com, throw in that little / Cardone, the letter U, the word free. Okay? Check it out. You got 14 days free, our gift to you. Go in there, check it out. Now, when you do that, though, Send me an email of your subscriber receipt or acknowledgement that you've signed up. Send it to david@grantcardone.com. And what I'm going to do is a free coach session with you. We're going to look at where you're at right now, whether that's you as an individual or you as a business, where you'd like to be in, say, 90 days. And I'll show you some things to work on inside Cardone University that will get you there. All right. Now let's jump into today's topic. Today, I'm going to do a deep dive on a video that's up on YouTube. And the topic or the subject, I'm calling it, if you want to get the full text on this, you can go over to cardonesolutions.com. It's one of my most recent blog posts. But I'm going to break down an interview or a video that Grant did with Daymond John. And I'm just going to call this Your Business Made Simple. If you look at Grant, you look at Daymond, they're successful in business, I think, because they've kept it simple. They do keep it simple. And it's very easy, if not incredibly easy or tempting, to just complicate the crap out of it and overthink it. So if you're in a company, here's where we want to start. If you work for a company, regardless of what your name badge says or what's on your business card, whatever that reads, you're in sales. You're part of the sales team. You are on the sales force, okay? And you are also a business person. And there's an evolution that is taking place. And people typically start out as employees. When I first got into the workforce, I was an employee. I worked for a record store. For those of you younger folk, records are 12-inch round discs that have grooves in them that when you put a needle on it and you spin it, they're made out of vinyl, it makes music, sound. It's called a record. And you used to be able to go to a place and buy them and look at them. And it was awesome. And that was my first real job. I worked at a record store. Not only did we sell records and vinyl, but we had cassettes and CDs. We rented video. A lot of fun. But I was an employee for them. Okay. And then you go from employee and then you evolve into a salesperson. And then if you do that correctly, you can evolve into a sales professional. And then at some point you eventually drop the entire sales label, if you will, and evolve or adapt yourself into business person. Unless, of course, you get stuck at employee level or salesperson level, you never progress to professional, you never progress to business person. And I think one of the reasons people get stuck is that they get tied into not being willing to work for free. Not being able to work and not get paid. So the reality is that if you truly want to succeed, if you truly want to have financial freedom, you have to start thinking like a business owner. And that means for an employee looking to evolve, you need to start operating as a business owner would. And become sort of a business in a business, okay? So, technically what's interesting is we're doing this either way, whether you know it or not. Now, if you are a business owner and you're listening to this, then you already know that revenue and sales, it's the lifeblood of the business. Your salespeople, they're front line for you. You know that already. So I don't need to sell you on that. But if you're an employee, or if you're a salesperson, or even if you've progressed into sales professional, then you may be, especially now, you may be starting to recognize that like this whole business of one thing, and you, like me, you may be trying to figure out like where to start with that. I'm a business owner. I'm a business within a business. What am I going to do about that? How do I operate from that? What are the basics here, right? Are there some stable pieces of data that because there's a lot to go with that, right? If you want to get an MBA in business, I mean, that's a 6-year event. Not everybody's got 6 years to dedicate to this thing. I don't. So are there some stable, simple pieces of data that you need to lay down for yourself in order for you to build a really solid, unbreakable foundation that you can build a successful business on? So at one of our 10X events, Grant sits down with Daymond John, starts picking his brain on some real business fundamentals. And for you, as an evolving salesperson, I want to look at some of these fundamentals. But more importantly, I want to look at how to implement these into your current stage in your evolutionary cycle. So what I'm sharing with you is what I got out of this video. You may get something very different. So when you head over to the blog, cardonesolutions.com, and find this segment, you may find some different stuff. But the key and the point, the exercise, is finding those stable pieces of data that you can literally lay down, like I said, and build this unbreakable, solid foundation for you to build your business on. And that goes for you as an employee. That goes for you as a salesperson. You're a sales professional. You want to transition to a business person. What is the foundation you're going to build that next level on? Okay? So we should probably address something first. Do you even want to evolve? Because if you're good where you're at, well then hell, just keep doing what you're doing. Do you, and bless you for doing it. But if you want more, right? You want more, and the reality that you have right now in your life is not in line with your potential, or, right? It's time to level up. If the reality you have right now is not in line with your potential and not in line with what you know it should be, it's time to level up. It's time to evolve. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to give you Daymond John's business basics. Now you have the bottom line. And the bottom line typically is cost to operate. What is it costing you to operate your business? That is the bottom line. So when you hear somebody talking about they've got their eye on the bottom line, or we're watching the bottom line and we got to be careful with the bottom line, that's how much money is going out. But then you got to look at the top line. The top line is revenue. Okay, so let's just start there. Bottom line is the cost to operate. Top line is the revenue. Obviously, you want more revenue than cost, right? Okay, so when you look into this, Daymond says there's only two ways to operate a business: reduce cost or increase sales. Simple, right? So for you, what are you spending money on right now? And is that money helping you grow the business? Is it helping you increase the top line? Is your bottom line increasing your top line? What are you spending money on right now, and is that helping you grow your business? What are you spending money on right now that is not helping you grow your business? Okay? And then increase sales. What are you spending money on right now that is helping you grow your business? And then how good are you at it? Sales is what drives the top line. How good are you at prospecting? How good are you at selling? How good are you at closing? How good are you at following up? So now you're with a customer. Daymond tells Grant that there's only 3 things to do with a customer. And this is great. First one is acquire one. Simple. Second one is upsell a current one. And then the third one is make one buy more frequently. Oh. Ooh. So what I'd like to challenge you on this is, which one of these do you need the most improvement in? And when you have the answer to that, then you should know this pretty well, which is, are you starting to see how you're a business? Especially if you're in sales. Okay, I was in the car business for 10 years. And I think I missed a lot of opportunity by being focused on just acquiring new ones. And I think a lot of people in sales get stuck in that place versus upselling current ones. Huge opportunity. And then making them buy more frequently. That is not just up to the manufacturer. And once you start thinking like a business, then you can bring that in. Right? See how that works? Daymond talks about and Grant, they get into this whole thing on creativity, which I had a lot of fun listening to and taking notes on that. But there's two ways to get creative that they talk about in this video. The first one is stay broke. And then the second one is stay committed. So with stay broke, if you've read the Millionaire booklet, Grant shows how to save and invest, or you save to invest. Excuse me. Grant shows you how to save to invest, and then also how to protect your income. He says that going broke doesn't mean blowing your income on meaningless crap either. So just keep that in mind. It means you put your money somewhere safe where you can't touch it until you have enough to invest in something that multiplies your money. So if you haven't read the Millionaire booklet, please pick up a copy of that. I'll leave a link for it in the show notes. Okay. And then the second thing is stay committed. Because the more committed you are to your goals and your dreams and your purposes and your targets, the greater your creativity level will get. And I have even found that when I am at a lack or a loss of words, or I'm trying to figure out specifically what to do, and I can't come up with a creative solution, then sometimes I just go back to, hey, dude, how committed are you right now? And the more committed I get, the more creative I find myself. So when was the last time your level of commitment to something stimulated your creativity? Think about that. When was the last time that your level of commitment to something stimulated your creativity? So just think about a time where your level of commitment to something did that for you. You got creative. You were so committed to making it happen that you got creative. You got really creative and you made it happen. What happened? You made it happen. But what specifically were you committed to? And how did you figure it out? So once you know what that is, go ahead and reverse engineer it so you can duplicate it. Daymond talks about becoming a master at sales and maintaining it. And this was a leadership lesson. So whether you're a team of one or you've got a team of 100, he talks about becoming a master at sales and maintaining it. He talks that you must be able to get into the trenches with your people. And you got to lead from the front. You have to set the tone and you have to be the example. Grant does this in his company perfectly. He still gets on calls for people. So if you're a business of one, obviously that won't scale. So as you evolve, you'll need to constantly be able to get in there, communicate with your clients, your coworkers, and your partners. And communication, that's sales too. So if you start building your own sales team, or you become a leader in an organization where you get to help with the sales team, then you got to stay sharp and you got to stay tight and you got to be able to get in there and show your people that you can still do this. Daymond then moves into, with Grant, they start talking about the mother of innovation and what it is. And Daymond and Grant decide that it's diversity. That diversity is the mother of innovation. And I love this. This was very meaningful for me, very powerful, especially now. Because you cannot have a closed mind and stay successful. You need ideas coming from all over the place, and you need to inject as much diversity into your world as you possibly can. This keeps things open, and it allows for this flow of real growth and ideas and change. Life is in a constant state of shift and change, and you and your environment needs to be that way too. So Daymond says, quote unquote, right out of the video, if we look at any kind of social upbringing or even the civil rights movement or anything, it was always many diverse people coming together for one common cause. And that creates innovation. That's powerful, right? It's important. We need to come together to have innovation. That little conversation led into this, which I thought was really cool and a great segue, which is the 3 standards of hustle. How simple is this? Show up early, stay late, do more for less. So Grant has these wristbands, says hustle muscle. Moving forward, when I see the word hustle, I'm just going to think about those 3 things. Show up early, stay late, do more for less. That's hustle. You got it? Hustle. Okay. Then Daymond says to be selfish. Be selfish, but in a good way. You have to take care of you first. That's what he meant. You have to become the very best version of you first. You cannot contribute to any team if you're not functioning correctly. He says, and I quote, "If you're not selfish yourself when you wake up in the morning, then you end up chasing everybody else's dreams and not yours." If you're not selfish yourself when you wake up in the morning, then you end up chasing everybody else's dreams and not yours. So how do you put yourself first in the first hour of the day, which is the most important hour? Number 1, Daymond says, do not check email or social media in the first hour of the day. Can you do that? What would happen to your overall well-being if you just avoided email and social media for the first hour of the day? Make that first hour about you, about your goals, about your dreams, about your targets, about getting to know who you are, getting to know you better. And are you who you want to be? What if you spent the first hour of every day answering that question? Are you who you want to be? And then you built your day around the answers to that question. Instead of spending time on social media getting offended and checking email and solving other people's problems first. Let's take care of you. And that's totally okay. So my final thoughts on this interview, this 13-minute conversation that Grant and Daymond had, that I've talked about for longer than that. I mean, there's just a ton of value in this video. It's applicable data. And like I mentioned in the beginning, what I got from it and what you get from it very well may be quite different. So I want to encourage you to go find this video and watch it. Watch it for yourself. You can find it over at cardonesolutions.com / Grant Cardone and Daymond John. It's there. It's one of the most latest posts. Just Grant Cardone and Daymond John under Cardone Solutions on the blog. Go check it out. Read it. Watch the video. But more importantly, take notes and then leave me a comment about what I might have missed or what you got out of it that was different than what I got out of it. What did you learn from this? What will you learn from that video that you can apply to your business today? So after watching that video, make sure you leave me a comment on the blog to let me know what you got from it, okay? This has been another exciting episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Again, do me a favor. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you're sharing this out if you're getting some value from it. Leave me comments. Help me help you. Help me make this a better podcast for everybody. My name is David Bradley, Senior Sales and Marketing Manager with Grant Cardone. If I can be of service to you in any way, shape, or form, feel free to reach out to me. David at Grant Cardone is my email, 310-777-0352. That's my direct line here at the office. And I'm going to leave you with the words of Grant Cardone. Be great, because nothing else pays.